friends, and welcome back to EVE Online with me, Mark from Dadex, and today we're going to take out Furia's mighty Myrmidon. Again, another ship we've never seen in a video. Let's have a quick look. Up in the top slots, I have fitted a set of 5 dual 155mm prototype Gauss guns. They are a secondary weapon for stuff that gets close to us and a little bit of extra DPS on the battleship. They give us a fall off range of 16 kilometers and an optimal of 8.6 kilometers, but we're not going to make a fuss on this run about getting into good range for those guns, because as we saw with the Drake, close up is where the damage is, so we shall avoid that. We've got a Microwarpdrive in the mid slot just to give us the ability to pull range control range. It's not going to be on very much at all. Then we have a cap recharger 2 that gives us a 20% boost to our capacitor recharge rate, which is very good. We've got the Omnidirectional tracking enhancer running a tracking speed script for the drones that only applies to the drones, remember. Then we've got the large cap battery 2 that gives us a 1625 gigajoule boost to our capacitor, which is about 50%, and also 25% increase, well 25% resistance to being neutered, which is handy. It's quite expensive. You could get away with the much cheaper compact version, might be a little bit easier on your fit as well. Use the compare tool as I've shown you in other videos just to see what the price range is and what their capabilities are. Then we've got the good old target painter. I do like these. That's going to increase the signature radius on the rats, and that will help the drones and our guns. We've got 3 drone damage amplifier 2s down in the bottom. We've got the medium armor repairer 2. Then we've got 1 compact layered energized membrane. This is a passive module. It gives us a 14.5% armor hit point bonus and a structure bonus too. So it gives us a bit more base tank, but without the penalties of armor plate. So if you look at it like that, it's kind of an in-betweener. Right, in the last low slot, we have a very cool module, the Reactive Armor Hardener. It's an active module. Its base resistance is a 15% across the board, but it will adjust to resist the damage type it's being hit by. We will have a look at that as we're in the run. We've got 1 auxiliary nano pump rig that boosts the repairs amount. We've got 1 hybrid collision accelerator 1 gives us 10% more damage off the railguns, and 1 semiconductor memory cell that gives us another 15% increase to our capacitor capacity. So this is all basically about keeping that repper running as and when the damage comes in. Okay, we've got 410 DPS as things stand. We are using Navy antimatter ammo in this fit. If we simulate the fit, you can see our resistances are pretty even across the board. We are relying on the Reactive Armor Hardener to sort those out as appropriate during the run, as we shall see. If we have a look down in this drone bay, I've got a selection of Vespers. They're going to be our main damage dealers. I'm not sure the Hornets are going to be relevant. I'm going to switch off the Caldari Navy Vespers and switch on the cheap ones. We lose about 10% of our DPS, which is standard for standard equipment against Navy equipment, but the cost difference is about 80,000 ISK against about 2.9 million ISK. The ship here has the name of another player, not because I stole his fit, but because we actually managed to get him to abandon this ship and I stole it. We got him cornered in the Myrmidon. He abandoned the ship, shot straight back to the station, got in his Tengu and got out of AM while he could. So he actually played it reasonably wisely. He sacrificed the Myrmidon to save his Tengu. For each level of the Gallente battlecruiser skill, we get 10% bonus to drone damage and hit points and a 7.5% bonus to armor repair amount. We're alpha, we can't use command bursts unfortunately. We also get a 12.5% bonus to drone microwarp velocity. That's their speed and how quickly they can get to and from us, which is going to be relevant here, I think. I think the drones are going to take their fair share of aggro on this site. That's one of the reasons I haven't fitted any kind of module to extend their range. I don't want them too far away, and them being quicker and therefore faster to pull and replace is going to be useful. Quick look at the skills. As you see here, my drone skills are pretty much maxed out for an alpha, including the skills that are now locked behind a paywall. Boo-hoo. But more relevantly, I've only got Gallente battlecruiser level 3 for now. There you go. So that's where Furia is. Her armor skills are pretty much maxed out for an alpha, and she can use Tech 2 medium hybrid turrets, but obviously they're not going to fit on this fit, and we certainly don't need them. Gunnery skills in general are pretty much, high level alpha, as Furia is these days indeed. This fit wasn't actually specifically designed for this site, but I think it's going to be more than up to the job. You'll be seeing more of this. In fact, I've been looking for an excuse to put the Myrmidon in a video, so this is a very good one. It comes in at about 135 million. A lot of that price here, well, not a lot, but about 15 million of that is just those Navy Vespers, so I don't think we're going to need them. What I'm going to do is start with the Vesper ones and replace them with better ones as and when I need to. I think that maybe you could just cram this drone bay with Vesper ones and be more than good for this run, but we'll see. It's not the first one that I've run, but we'll discuss that as and when we go through here. We've run a few of these sites now, so we've got a little bit more of an idea of what to expect on that very first run in the Gila. It's the waves that are going to try and hit the drones that are obviously going to be very dangerous to a drone boat. It's those Black Dagger destroyers particularly we're going to need to keep an eye out for, I think. I'm pretty sure we're not going to have too much trouble with the damage that the ship takes. In fact, this ship could easily take dual reps instead of the membrane, but this is more than enough for what we need now. Without the Microwarpdrive running, we are cap stable in this fit. If we had dual reps fitted, we'd be good for still about 4.5 minutes without the Microwarpdrive. So the primary, again, is that web tower that is going to be slowing us down the moment we get into the room. So we'll get the drones and the target painter straight on him. We'll probably take down the disruption tower second. We'll see, it depends on where the ships spawn, how they come in, how close they are. They can spend a little bit of time just warping around on grid. I'm doing the drone admin in the room, which isn't ideal, and it does confuse me a little bit, as you shall see. I don't use drone boats a lot, to be honest. I'm using them more, so you shall be seeing them more, and that means I'll probably get better at them too. But this site, as I mentioned, the reason I don't want the drones going out to maybe 60 kilometers is because if they do start getting aggroed, and you can see how quickly, this is at real time, this footage, I'm not sped it up yet. I'm of two minds as to whether to pull them. Sometimes the aggro will drop down quite considerably. I'm going to leave them out to see how they get on. These are the cheap ones, so these can do the test, hey. So right now I've got the guns on the cruiser that's within range. I'm using the drones and the target painter on the Purger. The Black Dagger destroyer has come into range, but I'll get to him. I'm going to take the Zealous sword down next with the drones, I think, because he's quite a bit of a damage dealer and he can hurt the drones, but the drones are getting a battering. So we need to get the rest of these ships locked up and get onto that Black Dagger destroyer as we can. Now I think about pulling these drones now. I get the radial menu, which I hate. So I've tried to pull the whole flight, but unfortunately a couple of the boys do go down, I think, before they can get in. Oh, is he going to make it? No, I think he just died, poor little chap. So now I've got a bit of a mixed bag. I'm going to put out some more Vesper ones initially. I'm just going to get to that Black Dagger destroyer. I think if you've got drones out, if you see Black Dagger destroyers on grid, they definitely need to be your primary. Lesson learnt there. As you can see, the ship itself is taking no damage at all. I mean, we're armor tanked, so I'm not going to count a third shield as damage, really. And that's the reason I'm happily leaving the disruptor tower running on me. So we're finally settled in. These drones are still getting a little bit beaten up. I hope I don't lose too many more. It's the Black Dagger destroyer. I'm leaving them out a little bit too long. So yeah, guys, drone boats need to kill Black Dagger destroyers very quickly if they appear. And you can get, I think the most I've had in a wave was 3. Luckily that was versus the Drake, and the drones were very secondary obviously in that run. But I did lose 3 of them before I could pull them in. Luckily the hams carried the day in that instance. So I'm trying to do my admin, keep on top of the drone management. I shall get better at it. But you'll see now why it's quite a good idea not to have them like the other side of the room fighting, because the way the spawns can overlap and suddenly come in as well, you could have your drones caught out cold. Okay, we'll go to 2.5 times speed now. You may notice I'm literally just sat here stationary. I'm going to need to close range and get the guns on these rats, I think, just to get some of the aggro off of these drones. But I just wanted to see what would happen if I just sat here. And as you can see, the rats aren't hitting me. I'm taking no damage at all. But I've pulled all the drones now. The aggro comes back onto me, as you can see from the damage that I'm taking. Put the drones back out. I've got a couple of the integrated drones out now. I'll go up through the classes as I'm required to. On the previous run, I just had integrated drones and Navy drones. I lost 2 integrated drones in the end on the run. Again, that was Black Dagger destroyers catching me out. the Caldari Navy drones. I'm going to say, if you've got them, keep them towards the end. They're going to be very good against the battleship because they're going to get great application on it. And at that stage, you're not going to be taking any drone aggro at all. The battleship won't be able to hurt your drones. So use up the cheap ones on these waves. Put out the good ones once you know there's nothing in the room that can really hurt them. Now we're finally into armour. So I've fired up the reactive armour hardener. We're running the Repper. I killed the Black Dagger Destroyer first to protect the drones, and now I'm working on the Zealot Swords. They're the ones doing the damage to us. That's why the damage is ramping up the way it is, but I am not feeling at all worried. I am pulling range a little bit with the Microwarpdrive. That's what it's there for. I've got in a little bit close to these guys. The drones are doing well. Nothing is now hurting the drones. You can see them taking a tiny bit of damage now from the battlecruisers, but they can't hit them like those Black Daggers can, so that's cool. So the drones can have the aggro, and the rat's missing them. I'm going to head over to the gate. So we're heading into the second room. I just slow boated over to the gate, let everything recharge, reloaded, let the drones heal up, got a little bit of shield back. Not that that's a great concern of mine, to be honest with you. And it's the same routine. We're going to primary the web tower. The disruption tower, again, it really depends on what else comes on grid, but I am going to take him down next. The drones have taken a bit of a beating. We've got 4 Navy drones out and 1 Vesper 1, and he is getting munched even though there's no Black Dagger on grid. Other ships will aggro your drones. So far we're down 3 Vesper 1s, 3 integrated Vespers. Let's see how the Caldari Navy drones hold out. We've got 3 binder frigates in this wave. It might be them that are giving the drones a little bit of a hassle. I'm concentrating on the Zealot Sword. Maybe the frigates need to go down a little bit quicker. We're into armour. We've got the active armour hardener running. We'll rep as soon as it is appropriate, but we're fine. We can tank this all day now. Let's just keep an eye on our drones. One of them is out of shield, but he seems to have stopped taking damage, and we're taking damage again, so that's good. Yeah, he's repairing his shield. The reactive armour hardener is adjusted to 54% explosive damage, 3% kinetic and 3% thermal. I think that's the binders must be hitting us for that damage. So basically that module's got 60% of resistance to share out, as appropriate depending on the damage it's been taking. So it's always a little bit behind. You could suddenly get caught out if a damage type shifted. But we're looking good here now. We're working our way through these bad boys. And the expensive drones are safe and sound, for now at least. So, last binder to go down. We've got one more wave to come. And between waves, I'm just bringing the drones back to orbit me, so they're close if I want to pull them, and they're close so I need them to defend me. And it takes a little while to spawn. It comes in. We've got 2 Black Daggers. I'm going to go for the Black Daggers hard and fast as soon as I can. Get the drones on that one. Get him dead. The other one is warping around. That's good. The Fanatic we want to get because he's going to do damage to us. The other cruiser's pretty innocuous. I usually just let them come into gun range because they will close range on you because they're faster. And once they come into gun range, just set the guns on them. At the moment, everything is on that Fanatic. I'm approaching the Black Dagger. As soon as I've killed the Fanatic, I'm probably going to switch damage onto him. But he doesn't seem to be getting too involved in the fight at the moment. I've no idea what their range is. I'm going to start work on the cruiser. No. There's aggro going on the drones. I'm blaming that on the Black Dagger. Switch everything onto the Black Dagger and kill it quickly. That is my advice. Luckily, they're not particularly tanky themselves. And just a poor little cruiser to finish off now. And the battleship is on his way. Let's see how many times he warps around before he settles down this time. So here he is. Can we get a lock on him? Go on. Lock, lock, lock. No lock. No, he's warped off. Here he is. We can go straight for him now, can we? Yes, we can lock him up. He's not going to mess about. I've had them bounce around like 4 or 5 times before you could get them locked up. So I'm going to head into an orbit where I can get my guns on him. The drones will be fine. We've just got to tank it. So armor hardener on, repper on, screenshots done. I'm not going to worry about firing the Microwarpdrive. It's just going to bloom our signature radius, so we won't worry about that. We're looking good. I'm happy with the amount of damage coming in compared to the amount of damage he's taking. And obviously having run the sites before, I know what his tank is like. And we're working our way through it very, very beautifully. Look at the armor hardener now. giving us a straight 30% kinetic and 30% thermal damage resistance boost in reaction to his damage. And I'm feeling comfortable enough to get some nice screenshots whilst I'm here. I think probably you want to absolutely make sure you don't stop moving when you're fighting a battleship. He does seem to get some reasonably good contact on us. We're tanking it fine. I'm not concerned. He's dead, so I'm really not concerned now. Just the loot box, hey, and the loot has been really poor on some of these sites. You get 4.7 million bounties on the high-sec sites. That's fixed, but I've had like as low as 2.2 mil loot. So let's see what we get this time, shall we? And if you compare that to the data sites, I mean, I've only done 2. I did a high-sec data site and got 16.2 mil drop. I did a low-sec data site and got 126 million ISK drop. Which, because I was really tired and it was really late, I got so excited about, I forgot to pick the loot up. But it was there. I've got a screenshot if you don't believe me, honest. But this time we've got 12.1 million. That's not too shabby. So plus the bounties are up to about, what, 17 million. It's like the Glamorex standing booster. There's the one. That's the one that's worth the cash. Haven't used one of those myself, but there's obviously a good market for them. So we've done reasonably well here, guys. I'm going to leave you be for now. I'm glad I had an excuse to get the Myrmidon out. You'll be seeing it again. I think a valid tactic would be literally to fill the drone bay with Tech 1 Vespa 1s. They're 89,000 ISK each. That'll give you 20. Maybe bring some posh ones just for the battleship when you know they're not going to get killed. And use the rest just spam the rats. I think that would be a valid technique. Let me know if you try it. Any comments, suggestions, questions, leave them down below. Leave us a like if you've liked it. For now, take care of yourselves and each other. Subscribe if you want to stay in touch. Fly safe. Fly brave, and for now, my friends, goodbye.